So, I don't want to say I have a problem with Himawari, because it is still very early on in the series, and I do understand that anything can happen as it pertains to her and her character. But as of now, chapter 36 of Boruto TBV Vortex, I don't think I had the correct perception of her and her impact on the series. It seems a bit underwhelming how they've been handling her character so far. And like I said, I wouldn't say this video is to tell you guys that I don't like Himawari or I don't think she will be strong, because that's not really correct. I think I just don't like how the story has been handling her from an arc to arc basis. So I understand that Himawari was basically a non-factor in part 1 of the series. Actually, if you watch the anime, she has some really cool moments that shows off her insane potential as a Byakugan user, and a user of the Gentle Fist technique, something that she never really used in TBV Vortex. I mean, it's actually hilarious. She's a whole Uzumaki slash Hyuga hybrid, but she quite literally never used the Byakugan in the manga. So you have the chance to do the craziest thing ever, especially now. But it seems like Himawari is just a whole different person now, meaning just the way she fights. It's all based around her Nine Tails power, when I think that's really not gonna get it done. But that's for a bit later in the video. I'ma just say that for now so I remember. But fast forward to TBV Vortex, Ikemoto really wanted to implement her more in the story, and rightfully so. She's the daughter of Naruto and Hinata Uzumaki, and the main character's sister. So it would be a huge disappointment if she wasn't more involved in the story. And Ikemoto chose the role he wanted for her to be more active in the story. He wanted her to be a shinobi, a fighter, which is fine. But the thing is, Ikemoto knew Himawari was not going to be useful at all in none of the upcoming fights as she was. She's not even as strong as Boruto was when he was her age. And the enemies that were about to be introduced into the story were about to be some of the strongest enemies they've ever seen. So what did he do? He had to give her more power. And it didn't have to be enough power to be able to stand up to them, but just enough power to keep up. And yeah, he definitely did that. He gave her enough power to not only stand up to the shinju, but someday even surpass them. So now you give someone like Himawari the power of a BIJUU, you can use her how you wish in the upcoming chapters. But throughout the series, I don't know, it just seems like she's moving in a direction that I don't really like for her. The debut of Himawari's Nine Tails power was absolutely incredible. Chapters 9 through 11 was a time in the community when everyone was talking about Himawari, making videos on her insane potential, even making theories on how she even ended up with this power. And it was exciting seeing her with this new power. That was apparently supposed to be Boruto's power at first, but Ikemoto changed it to make it Himawari's power instead. I'm pretty happy he did that, to be honest. I don't feel like anything good would have came of that. But during this debut, everything was good. She showed off her new power by saving Inogen from dying and giving us a good show versus Jura. Ikemoto definitely set the hype for her character going forward. We were excited to see more from her as a fighter who could be detrimental in a battle. Just imagine it. With her power, she could fight alongside the stronger characters and still give on-site treatment to her peers. We even gotten confirmation from Kurama that Himawari is not a regular Jinchuriki. Actually, she's not even a Jinchuriki. She's more like a BIJUU now, similar to him and Jura. And because of that, we can't really think of her as a Jinchuriki. You know, like Naruto and Killer Bee. Meaning, it's not necessarily a relationship where Kurama gives her power or she learns how to tap into his power aside from her own. They are one mind, one body, and one soul. His power is her power now. She just needs to learn how to use her new power. Kurama even said, yeah, your chakra is basically way more compatible to mine than any of your predecessors, even including Naruto. So the story is using this new narrative surrounding Himawari to basically tell us that her power is going to revolve heavily around Kurama, because essentially she's now a BIJUU. Kurama even said that she should adopt a different fighting style than she has now. And the fighting style she's shown so far, even training with Kurama, is more of a physical style of fighting. Extra hard punches and kicks. To put it bluntly, I disagree. I think aside from Himawari having the Nine Tails power, she should also be her own character. Develop her skills past her character shift. I completely understand the notion that she's now a BIJUU, and Kurama wants her to fight like one to really maximize her potential as a being similar to Jura or Kurama. But if you've been paying attention to Himawari, and granted not a lot of people really have, but if you have, like I said earlier in the video, she's shown a lot of great abilities and potential as a Byakugan user. Some skills that I know that would make her an even better shinobi than what she already is. And that's the problem. A Hyuga with the power of the Nine Tails is the craziest thing I've heard in a minute. But somehow, Boruto ended up using it before she did. And he doesn't even naturally possess the Byakugan like Himawari. It's like the series contradicts itself with Himawari and her power. Kurama preaches to her about chakra control all the time. He wants her to have exceptional chakra control to master her new power, but ironically, her Byakugan and Gentle Fist techniques would greatly benefit from this chakra control he speaks of the most. But like I said, she doesn't even fight like that anymore. And frankly, with her insane chakra reserves, that makes her even more broken. Some of the strongest characters in the series has been shown using Gentle Fist to shut down Tenketsu, as we see Momoshiki using it when he was fighting Naruto. And even more than that, let's just imagine Kurama as the engine for Himawari. I mean, Kurama wouldn't even be the engine. Like we already established, she is basically a BIJUU now, so she would be her own engine. But with her power, she has enormous chakra reserves, which obviously comes in handy with her Byakugan. First of all, she just gets to use it longer in battle without tiring out. So she gets a longer time with high level perception. So basically, without over explaining, she has the chakra to push Byakugan based techniques much further than a conventional Hyuga ever could. And this is why I compare Himawari's development and potential to a character like Kaguya. Because once her powers is fully realized and managed correctly, she can become as strong or even stronger than a celestial being. That's how strong she can become with this new power. May I remind you how lethal Gentle Fist techniques are too. With enough training, Himawari would be able to target someone's chakra system and completely shut it down, which in some cases causes internal damage. So damaging that it could shut down your internal organs. Literally how Neji almost unalived Hinata and prevented Himawari from even being a thing. He struck her in the chest, targeting a vital chakra point surrounding her heart. And Himawari could do that, but she would be much faster due to her increased physical stats that she would get from her BIJUU power. And of course, with tons of force behind it too. Enough force to literally send Jura flying. I mean, also if you're Ikemoto, you can kind of get creative with her power as well. We already know that when you possess the power of the Nine Tails, any BIJUU power in general, your chakra becomes so dense and massive that it literally becomes visible and tangible. And it was actually a really useful tool for Naruto that saved him multiple times throughout the series. Well, first and foremost, it made it literally impossible for him to be burned with Amaterasu. It saved him from being pierced by Orochimaru's Kusanagi blade, and of course it was used offensively to grab his enemies and also physically hit them. Like, it's actually crazy what you can do with this power. You can even create shockwaves made purely off your strong physical chakra. So I see Naruto do this, and also see Neji and Hinata use a technique called Air Palm that does something very similar. It just gives you ideas on how she can utilize this using her own power to become even stronger. Maybe to the point where she doesn't even have to physically hit you for your chakra pathways to be shut down, but purely due to her strong physical chakra. But since Ikemoto probably doesn't have this vision for her character, we might never see it. Like, mind you, her Gentle Fist technique was so powerful even as a kid, she was able to knock Naruto out for hours with just one off-guarded attack. Well, maybe this moment was meant for more as a gag joke, but it doesn't take away from the fact on how strong she can possibly become with the Nine Tails amp. But like I said, her tools aren't being properly utilized with how things are going so far. So far in the story, most of her impact has been used mostly as a medic character, completely sidelining all her other insane abilities and potential. Don't get me wrong, even if she's just used as a medic and that's it, she would be one of the best healers ever, if not the best medic. But that's not how you want to handle her character. And the scenes where she does fight, she hasn't shown anything worth being excited for in the future. The story has literally set up Himawari to be a crossbreed of Naruto and Hinata, but it just doesn't look like that's going to be the case according to how the story has been moving with her. And if that is the case, then I don't think Himawari will be able to reach her highest potential possible. And on top of that, she also has some pretty damaging limitations on her right now. Currently, she's being targeted by Jura, and as it stands, if he gets his hands on her, she's going to die. So essentially, she can't really leave the village. So this hinders her abilities to be present in arcs or situations that take place outside of Konoha, like the Sunagakure arc, which offered an opportunity for us to see Himawari fight in a more open space. An open space where she can use her power freely without worrying about the village, which she actually got scolded for by Shikadai, which is funny. But it offered us an opportunity to see what she can do against a weaker opponent than Jura. Because of course I'm not going to hold that L against her. At the end of the day, it's Jura. I understand that. I just want to see how she can handle against a lesser enemy to really gauge how strong she is. But most importantly, she's missing opportunities to grow into what we believe she can be. If you say she has more potential with Kurama than even Naruto, you have to show it by putting her in positions to grow and show that potential. That was a serious statement that holds weight behind it. You can't just say that and keep her character safe in Konoha, not even showing us real progression towards that goal. But of course, as I'm saying this, it's still early, so my problem with Himawari could be obsolete in about 5 chapters, if the story starts doing her character justice. So there's 2 things the story needs to do for her right now, and that's actually make her Byakugan Dojutsu relevant to the plot, and also give Himawari a moment to allow her to grow. And honestly, that might entail her rebelling and leaving Konoha to help in the fight against Code and the Shinju. Man, I forgot to even mention, the Byakugan can also make her medic abilities even better because of her advanced visual perception, being able to identify chakra pathway disruptions and fix it. So yes, that's something they have to implement for her to really reach her full potential. So what are some other ways Himawari could be more useful to the plot? Not even more useful, but what do you think Ikemoto could do for her to be used better than how she's being portrayed so far? I'm interested in what you all think, so be sure to leave all your ideas and thoughts down below in the comment section. And without further ado, I think I said all I needed to say for now. So of course, if you all enjoyed the video and don't mind seeing more like this in the near future, be sure to go ahead and like the video, also comment, subscribe, and most importantly, turn on them post notifications so you don't miss another video like this or when I go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.